Alright, welcome to our lesson on the derivative of Cosx. So we just found out that the derivative of sine x is cosx. Nice, easy rule to remember. A little missing an in there. That looks good. So the derivative of sine x cosx. So now we want to get the derivative of cosx. So again, we could try first principles, but it's actually not going to be necessary. What we're going to do is sort of use this rule to come up with the derivative of cosx. So what we need to do actually is change cosx, this function here, cosx, to a function involving sine, because we know the derivative of sine. So again, we're going to go to a trig identity that we would have had last year. So if you recall, the way you can convert between cos and sine is using this identity here, that cosx is equal to pi by 2 minus x. Sorry, cosx equals sine of pi by 2 minus x. So these two functions are equivalent. So why did we do that? Well, we did that so we can use this rule over here. So what we're going to do is take the derivative of this. So the derivative of sine of pi by 2 minus x. So notice we got a chain rule, right? Outside function, sine x, inside function, pi by 2 minus x. So what's the derivative of the outside function? Well, we just have the rule right there, right? Derivative of the outside function is cos of the inside function. So cos of pi by 2 minus x times the derivative of the inside function. So in this case, the derivative of pi by 2 minus x is negative 1. So now we can just sort of simplify this. So negative 1 times this is negative cos of pi by 2 minus x. That's nice. And cos of pi by 2 minus x we can actually simplify, again using almost the same trig identity. Cos of pi by 2 minus x, you remember, that's equal to sine x. So we get that dy by dx is negative sine x. So that's a rule for the derivative of cos is equal to negative sine. So there we got two rules for derivative of cos and the derivative of sine. Pretty easy to remember. Derivative of sine, cos, derivative of cos, negative sine. Now the tricky part, the part that is often a mistake, is which one gets the negative, right? People remember, okay, sine, cos, sine, but one is negative and they forget which one. So I'm going to give you a little sort of, well, I'll give you an explanation of how I remember it. Don't want to do that. Just a new one. Nope. So the way I remember it is just with the graph. So right here, just drive one period. So this is going to be sine x. So remember we did this in our derivation of the derivative of sine. And then I'll graph cosx over here. So cosx looks like that. Sort of like that. Maybe a little bit smoother. So now what we're going to do is just look at the graphs of the derivative. So remember that we know, sort of just think in your mind, okay, sine x, cosx, sine x, it's just one is negative, which one's negative? So here's how we're going to remember. Just think about, just right at the beginning, right? Well, we know at this point, the derivative is going to be 0. Same with at this point. And then here at the beginning, we have a positive slope. So positive slope means I start in the positive region. And then negative slope, and I know it's cosx, so I'm just going to complete the graph. So dy by dx is equal to cosx. Now here, when you're looking at cos, okay, plot the zeros first. So we got a 0 there, we got a 0 there, so let's set pi, and then 1 there, that's at 2 pi. Now look at the beginning. The beginning, the slopes of the tangent are negative, so that means I'm going to start in the negative section, below the x-axis. So that means I've got to go down to the negative and then go up. So it's positive here. So looking at that, that kind of looks like sine. Sines like that were just reflected in the x-axis. So that must be d by dx, or dy by dx is negative sine x. So that's kind of how I remember which one gets the negative. I just remember which one has negative slope at the beginning. Just think about the derivative. So the one with negative slope at the beginning is cos. So since the slopes of the tangents are negative, that means the derivative is negative. So we're at the beginning, so that's how I remember. Cos gets the negative, sine's positive slopes at the beginning, so it gets the positive, it doesn't change. So just a little sort of suggestion as to how you remember which one's negative, which one's